everybody, this is Grimmy. Now, today it's going to be another unscripted video, mainly because I am very tired. I had a bit of a weird dream last night and I woke up more tired and stressed than when I went to sleep, so today's going to be more relaxed. So today's drawing in the Speedpaint is of my Tabaxi OC Snowstorm Snowscape. Now, if you don't know what a Tabaxi is, I'm not surprised because I didn't know what it was until recently. Tabaxis are a species in the tabletop game Dungeons and Dragons. I never really got into Dungeons and Dragons until I entered university, which was 3 months ago, mainly because nobody around me really played it. But when I joined my course, it seemed to be a very common thing to play. So with a bit of encouragement from my friend Callum, hi Callum, thank you, it's your fault I'm into this thing now, I joined the Dungeons and Dragons Society at the university and got into it. So the current game I'm playing, the current games I'm playing is Call of Cthulhu, which is sort of I think it's its own thing, I'm not sure, but it's the same idea. It's a tabletop roleplay game basically, but the Call of Cthulhu is set in the 1920s, while Dungeons and Dragons is set in a fantasy world. So the Call of Cthulhu is one I play with another group, and Dungeons and Dragons is one I play with my friend Callum, who is the DM or the Dungeon Master, and that's where my OC or my character Tabaxi, my Tabaxi character Snowstorm is relevant. So it's a very basic game at the moment from what I'm told, because it's mainly me trying to get used to everything, but so far I'm really enjoying it. So Snowstorm is a level 3 noble barbarian, so like his background is noble, so he's from royalty I guess, and he is a barbarian, and he is a tiger-based Tabaxi. Tabaxi basically are cat people, pretty much, like really fast cat people, and Snowstorm comes from a royal family and a tribe and blah blah blah, typical story. Basically he wants to travel the world and explore the world before he has to become the next leader of his tribe, because he's the only heir, and if he doesn't become the leader of the tribe, there'll be some problems between his father's tribe and his mother's tribe, because his mother is a snow tiger and his father is a generic jungle tiger, so the orange kind. And the reason why, so I completely made this up, this is not any official law, I completely made this up, I don't know if this is possible or not, but basically the snow tigers and the jungle tigers made a sort of peace treaty, and one of the rules of the peace treaty was that the next heir of the throne would marry the princess of the snow tigers, pretty much, basically, to put it in the most plain way possible. So Snowstorm is of that outcome. So because he's a curious type, he wants to go out and explore the world before he has to become the next leader. And that's why, he meets up with everybody else in our campaign, because otherwise he'd just stay at home. Now, before I get into the story behind the drawing, I don't know, maybe I want to share some information about Snowstorm, so let me just get my sheets. So, there we go. So I'm just going to read some interesting information about Snowstorm that I quite like. Snowstorm is a storm barbarian. I get storm barbarian is like he can control the storms, but at the moment he's only a level 3, so he can't do very much. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I know I wanted to make him more interesting than just a normal barbarian for me, and so Callum was like, oh, you could make him an elemental barbarian. I was like, that's a thing, I need that, I want that. And because his name is Snowstorm, I went with Storm because it's pretty cool. His alignment is chaotic neutral. mainly because I wanted him to be the sort of character that you don't really know what's going to happen to him, like you don't really know what he's going to do next. And from what I'm told, that's quite normal for Tabaxi characters to be, sort of chaotic neutral, and they usually tend to be rogues from what I'm told. Callum and some of the others have told me some really funny stories about some Tabaxi characters doing some really silly things. So I really wanted to use a Tabaxi, and also because I like animal-based characters more. So yeah. So when I created him, I really made him a tank character. So he's a very fight-orientated character, which is typical for Barbarian. So his wisdom is like -1, and his strength is really good. So yeah, he's a bit of an idiot, but he's really good at fighting, so nobody's going to really mess with him. For his personality trait, there's sort of some generic ones you can pick from the book or make on your own, but I decided to go with the book. And so 2 of his personality traits is, my favor once lost is lost forever, and if you've done me an injury, I will crush you, ruin your name, and salt your fields, which is, wow, that's very extreme. His ideals are independence, and I must prove that I can handle myself without the cuddling of my family. His bonds is that nothing is more important than other members of my family. And flaws is, I have an insatiable desire for carnal pleasures. Now when I think carnal pleasures, I think like bloodlust and stuff like that. I don't know what it means to other people, but yeah, that's what I think. He can speak both Auran and Celestial languages. So Auran is for like sky creatures, and Celestial is like godly creatures. And he has a double-sided great axe, as well as some daggers and blah blah blah. That's not very interesting, but I really like this character, mainly because it's interesting to play around with. Some other things he does is he purrs loudly when he's happy/sleeping. His curiosity, like the thing he's most curious about at the moment, is legends and tales. So whenever somebody will tell him a tale or a legend of something secret, he will try to find out. And he can't help but pocket interesting objects he comes across. So at the moment he's not really pocketed anything, like he's found some coins, he has a rusty greatsword, and it's nothing very like formidable, but I love the idea of this massive tiger just pocketing little things like little treasures and stuff like that. It makes me laugh. So yeah, so that's about the character himself. Now the scene here I'm drawing, why I call it fluffy Snowstorm, is because Storm is actually, his fur is actually smooth. Now throughout the video you may see me reference a drawing that is obviously not made by me. It's actually made by one of my teachers called Claire. I'll put the drawing up on the screen. She's a really great artist, and I commissioned her to draw my D&D character, so Snowstorm. But yeah, so normally that's what Storm would look like, sleek, masculine, serious, badass. But what happened is that basically Storm got wet because of the rain, and so I was like, okay, he'll just get down from the roof because he was on top of a roof, and he'll just shake the water off and go back downstairs. And my friend Callum said, okay, roll a performance, do a performance roll. I was like, how's that gonna do anything? So I roll a performance roll and I get a natural 1. Now if you don't know anything about D&D, basically you have this 20-sided die where natural 1 is you're just rubbish, and natural 20 is you're amazing, you're perfect, it's unbelievable you did this thing. And anything in between will, if you roll a 15, it's more likely you're going to hit an enemy during the fight. But if you roll a 9, it's very unlikely you're going to hit the enemy. Stuff like that. So I got a natural 1 in performance while trying to while Storm was trying to shake his fur off water. So what happened is that instead of just shaking his fur off and then going about his day as normal, he shakes his fur off and his fur just goes, it just blows up. And so basically Snowstorm lost some intimidation points, but he gained some charm points because he's now really cute and fluffy. And honestly, that's probably the best thing of the whole session for me personally, because I love it. I absolutely love that for happening to my character. So yeah, so this was just a really short unscripted video just to have some fun because I'm very tired. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my character and his silly situation. He looks very done. And so yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. All of my social media links are in the description down below, as well as any songs I used in this video. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye!